Hey man, how's it going? I got a comment the other day and I thought I'd read this to you and explain some of my thoughts on it. I'm gonna pull it up right here. Alright, so this is on my last video talking about kind of silence and destimulation. Something I learned during the detox and um, in that video I just kind of said stuff along the lines of when you're destimulated, you kind of live more in the forefront of life. Um, if that makes any sense, you live with when you have little things to fall back on. So, and when I mean little things, I mean comforts. If you don't have music or video games or social media, not that these things are inherently evil, but they become evil very quickly. Um, just stimulation in general. When you don't have these comforts, you will live life more fully and like kind of like as if it's your last chance to live. You just live more fully, kind of on the edge, and that is awesome. So, but I talked about how uh, I don't think that for most it is sustainable to stay away from these things permanently. And so, um, let's talk about that. Uh, Somebody commented, "How are you fighting the urges? Could you explain the exact mental frame or mindset that works for me? And what do I tell myself the moment an urge to use YouTube or porn or social media or music comes? What do I do to fight it? Fight it." Okay, thanks, man. You're awesome. Okay, how am I fighting urges? Okay, so let me go ahead and start you off with, dude, my nose is itchy. Good scratch. Okay. Fighting urges. Let's start off with how we even get to a point where we're fighting urges. Um, I have to do a lot. I think as men, we are very susceptible to a lot of things and urges. So there's a lot that I have to do. No, I don't have to do these things every day, but if I do them often, I am in good standing. Number one, when I get this out of the way, it is fasting. When you are fasted, you can think so much clearer, but also you can just be conscious of choices you make. And when I say be conscious, I literally mean you feel that you are making a choice. A lot of times we make choices and we don't realize that we're making a choice. It can be a small thing, but we don't realize that we chose to do that thing. When you're fasted, at least for me, I notice myself choosing to do things. Like I can feel it, I can see it, and it just slows down life a little bit. Which, when it comes to bigger things like urges, so much easier when you're fasted. If you can say no to food for most of an entire day, you can say no to basically anything, which is pretty huge. So that is a huge hack for sure. Is intermittent fasting. Now it is easier for me because like I don't even get home from school till like 4 at the earliest. So if I don't pack food for lunch, it might be a long time till I eat. But I have tried intermittent fasting whilst I was home. I can still do it. I can still do it. So just whatever you set your mind to. But once you get into it, man, you can really. Um, it's just so much easier to fight temptation and urges. Okay. What else can I help you with? Okay, sleep. If you're not getting 8.5 hours of sleep minimum, and I'm guilty of this, you are going to be a fiend. Okay. Sleep is huge, and without enough of it, I screw it. I can't even promise you I can like accomplish anything I set my mind to. Can't promise it, and that's horrible. That's living life at a. That's just getting by. And that's horrible. There's no point in living while getting by. If you're not living to the absolute fullest, I mean, I'd rather die because I'm all or nothing. Okay, and that's how I found success in my life. So, and most successful people will also tell you that balance. Well, that's actually a whole other topic for another day. But sacrificing something like sleep, it's just absolutely worthless. It's hopeless, I should say. And yeah, like the days that I relapse the most, I'm always underslept, like 98% of the time. So I don't know what else to tell you. That's a common theme. Okay. So sleep. And sleep is a discipline. In fact, I want to be in bed by 8:30 today. That means I need to start getting ready at 8. That's in an hour and a half. I need to be very disciplined to make that happen. And it's hard. It's very hard to make that happen. But I'm gonna try to make that happen. So, okay. I think that is enough of setting myself up. Aside from that, I guess positioning, where you find yourself, where you place yourself, definitely helps. These are all presets, though. These are things that you... Well, actually, that one is a little more conscious, but you can make good habits, like using your computer and like your laptop or your phone in different places than you are where you know you're prone to being tempted to do something such as watch YouTube or something. Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with watching YouTube again. Inherently, these are things that we have urges for, and therefore they need to... If you have an urge for it, we got to control it, okay? So that's why we do these dopamine detoxes. I'm going to do another one really, really soon here because they're so important, and they really just make life feel more worth living. And it feels more like living on these detoxes. I'm really stretching this on here, but okay, I'll get back to my point. Anywho. Dude, I love the detoxes. I'm sorry. I love them so much. Okay. Let me explain the mental frame or mindset that works for me, okay? So, urges. A lot of times, for some of the things that you listed here, I won't notice an urge. So YouTube sometimes will catch me off guard when I'll just feel like, I won't even really necessarily think about it. It'll more just be like YouTube opens up, right? This is why being fasted is so huge. And also being rested. Oh my gosh. Getting a good night's sleep is so huge. Because if I don't really have either of those things, especially if I don't have one or the other. If I don't have either, we're in big trouble. Because I don't recognize that I'm opening YouTube. Now I've gotten a lot better at this. But I'm just saying, like, in general, sometimes you just don't realize it. At least on a computer. So, again, being fasted helps so much. But you want to know something else that helps a lot, and I also am guilty for not doing this consistently, and that is... How long are we running this real quick? Okay, we're doing good on time. That is blocking out your time. If you don't block out your time, you're not going to actually get stuff done. And I'm very guilty for this, especially with my schoolwork and with this YouTube channel. If I don't block out the exact hours I need to dedicate time to do a task, it's not going to happen. It will not happen. And if it does happen, it's going to happen at a very mediocre and shortened, like on a shortened scale, okay? And that's no good. So let's start with that right now. If you are trying to step away from any of the things listed here, you have to block out your time. And you have to write that on paper. Not on your phone, on paper. And you better put that up where you see it. Right here, I'd put it right in front of me because this is where I do a lot of work. It'd be right there. No YouTube. That's what I'd write. I'd put on my phone. I'd have a reminder that says no YouTube. I would change my lock screen on my wallpaper on my computer. No YouTube. Whatever it is, right? Alarms help. But blocking out your time for sure, that's what does the trick, man. That's what does it. It just keeps you on your toes. It really keeps you on your toes because if you discipline yourself to just go to the next thing, especially if you're struggling to... This is a side note. If you're struggling to be productive, what I would do is set yourself like a decent chunk of time to do something. But the second that chunk of time ends, it doesn't matter where you are. You have to force yourself to move on. Eventually, you're going to get annoyed, and you're going to start doing the crap in the amount of time, like in the block. That's what I would say if you're trying to get some momentum here. But that's more of an extreme case, though. I feel like you could probably manage with what I said previous. But that aside, mental frame. Okay, so when I do recognize the urge, I can only say no again if I set my mind to it previously. It has to be a goal, okay? If there's an urge to watch YouTube, but I'm like maybe doing a small school assignment, maybe not even that. I'm not doing anything directly important, like active, like proactive, then I'm going to watch YouTube. Why wouldn't I? a goal that something I said 2 months ago. I want to watch less YouTube doesn't mean anything because I didn't make a plan. I don't have an actual goal, so I'm gonna watch YouTube. Um, that's what it comes down to. I think when I tell myself for X amount of time I will not watch any YouTube and I will not listen to any music, there aren't really urges. What I will say though is the urges come. You ready for this? When you're tired. I can't tell you how important sleep is, bro. The only time I've ever been tempted to watch YouTube on a detox is when I'm underrested because I'm underwhelmed. You're not that underwhelmed when you've had like 9 hours of sleep. No, 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 no. You're ready to climb a mountain, bro. So that is massive, okay? But that's when I actually have to tell myself to not watch YouTube because I'm like, oh, man, this homework sucks and I'm tired and bored, so I should watch YouTube. I should listen to music. But if I'm well rested and also I'm detoxified, I'm like not stimulating myself with other things, you'll recognize the thought and very quickly you'll just understand that's not what I'm here to do. You'll understand that's not the goal I have. That's not what I've set myself up to do. In fact, I've set myself up to do the opposite. And it's gone like that. It's a pretty quick process. But did you see how much setup I had to talk about in order to get to that point? The quick process actually took a lot of setup. But it doesn't bother once you're there. So like right now I'm not on a detox, and if I feel like watching YouTube and I don't have anything better to do, I will watch YouTube. Because I'm like, well, I want to learn something. I like learning. But yeah, there's absolutely times where it's also interesting, actually. Let me point this out too. It's very interesting how like purposeful work definitely like diminishes your desire to do these things too. If you have something really meaningful you're working on, such as these videos, I just want to like watch YouTube less. If I'm in the mood to play basketball or go to the gym, or if I'm just really feeling driven, then I don't really want to do these things very much. So that's also huge. But now I can't say much on socials because I don't have socials. So like I never have. That's the thing. I wish I had a say on this, but I never have. So I have a feeling that the YouTube thing would apply kind of to social media. The only issue is social media has less to do with YouTube. To me is more like a streaming platform. I literally treat it like Disney Plus. It's like I go here to watch long form content and learn. That's just me because I am a nerd and I take pride in that. But understand that I guess YouTube is also turning more into a social platform just because of shorts and whatnot. And it has comments and whatever, but that to me means nothing because it's always been just like a streaming platform for me. So with socials, I think it's more difficult. Social media addiction is real. And anxiety levels in the modern day are only going up. And this is not me telling you social media is causing anxiety. Delete social media. I think you've heard that enough. But I will tell you now that it's not helping by any means. There's no place in which social media helped anxiety. It has never happened. I don't think. Not to say that it's the culprit. Okay, it's not the culprit of all of our mental health problems in the modern day. It's just an additive. It's an ingredient. An ingredient. Could be as small as like salt in a cake. You don't taste salt in a cake, but it's there. So nobody put it in there. It's for baking purposes. I don't know how to bake, but I know there's salt in lots of pastries for some reason. So, I might make a video on like addiction and how to know if you're addicted. One thing I will say is if you're questioning if you're addicted, that's the best sign I have for you. If you're ever like, man, I wonder if I spend too much time on this, that's a good enough. I think that's the okay for you. That's the all right. You confirmed it. You just time to make a change. Okay. So with socials, if that applies to you and you're like, man, I wish I could probably spend less time on here. That's when just follow the detox series. I'm telling you, delete it for a week. It will really help you out. It's just 1 week, okay? 1 single week. it'll change your perspective and help you just kind of recenter yourself. So when you come back to social media, you'll be happier. If you're not in that place, all I can tell you is just turn off notifications, and then you'll have less of an urge to, like, my phone has no notifications. If you turn off all notifications for everything, even text messages, you just spend less time wasted, okay? All right. Oh, last thing. Okay, ready? Porn. Of course you want to hear me talk about this. I'm home alone right now, and before I made this video, the thought occurred to me. It was just like, man, like that. Like I was just kind of like realizing the magnitude of where I was, and I'm like, I am home alone right now, and I could do that. I'm capable of doing that. Like, that's crazy. Huh. I got important work to do. Again, purposeful work really helps you. It's not so much that it was like an urge, it was a thought. But thoughts can become urges very quickly. That is when I recognized it and was like, you're dumb. Like, that's just what I thought in my head. I'm like, no, you're dumb. Like, are you serious? Right now, you really tried to think that up on me. And just understanding that you have more valuable work to do and, purpose to fulfill. And yeah. It really helps. Also, guilt is a good thing. I want you to understand that. Guilt is a thing that we want to take advantage of. If you can guilt trip yourself out of doing anything, like out of doing any, urge, that's good. You can't always rely on guilt, but if you can use it alongside of the good habits we're talking about, go for it. So for me, I had to think about the time I spent with my girl earlier today, and that was enough. It was just like, and it's not like I wasn't tempted to go watch porn. It was just an idea, but I understand that ideas turn into urges very quickly. And it's a habit that I've trained. It is a practice that as soon as anything like that occurs, it's like I've trained myself to think gratefully about what I already have. And I'm like, okay, I'm satisfied. Okay, I think I got a couple good points out in that video, or in this video. Oh my gosh, I talked on for a long time. I hope you have an awesome day, and I will talk to you later. See ya.